Welcome to Maximum Blackness. We are here to max your mental health to the maximum this week. You know, I'm your girl, Annie Herb, and I'm here with I Sparkle. And, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Anything you want to say before we get started, I Sparkle?
Hello, good to see y'all again. I hope y'all enjoy the conversation tonight. And also, like y'all said, stay max to the black, where we love y'all and y'all love us back.
Definitely stay max to the black. And tonight, we got a really great topic. We're going to talk about being independent while you're in a relationship. We know it's tough, honey. We know it's tough. And sometimes we get into these relationships and we be like, oh, him gonna take care of me and it's gonna be all good. And it just don't work out like that because some people like be controlling and belittling, and some people just like that, like you ain't worth a damn when you don't contribute. But shout out to those who don't have those problems. But some people do. You know what I'm saying? So this for you. So, some of us, fight pretty much what it is giving up your financial independence. Some women do it, or some people. I'm not just gonna put it in the bowl of women. Some people give up their financial independence at the beginning of their relationship because the person is already, taking care of everything. And some people get into relationships and then, maybe at first you was holding everything down halfway, just whatever, and then something happened, or maybe the person was like, you ain't gotta work no more. But then again, things got controlling, you started getting belittled and just, started getting talked to all types of crazy and things like that. So we're going to give you some tips on how you can gain that independence back. And we got some of our experiences to share too. Ain't that right, Sparkle?
Whew, indeed, we do. You hit a whole bunch of nails on the head, but we'll talk about them. We'll get into it.
Definitely. And don't forget, this is just part one of a part two episode. Okay. So make sure y'all come back next week for some more.
We
I
got
almost started with that. You know what? Okay. All right. So as we were saying, some people get controlling and mean. And when you're trying to gain your independence back, the healthy way to start would be to try and have a conversation with your spouse, because of course you want to know that you want to have that meeting and make sure you let them know, okay, because of XYZ and this, that, and the third, I want to do this, and make this what I do. I want to go to
right.
work, I want to go back to work, or I want to get self-employed, or whatever the conversation has to be. You need to have it with your spouse, or have that conversation first, because some people gonna have this conversation and their spouse is gonna disagree, right?
Most
And then you're still
certainly.
gonna have to do it anyway. But try to be healthy, non-toxic, and have this relationship with your spouse. Sparkle, what do you think how would you have this conversation with your spouse?
Don't beat around the bush. Be direct. No matter what the outcome is of the conversation, let him know your thoughts, or what you're actually planning to do. And from there, I mean, he's gonna either have to respect it, or y'all gonna have to figure something else out. Possibly walk away from each other, depending on how toxic that gets, because it can get crazy. Because some men don't want to accept that woman wants to break away and gain some independence. She wants her to be that, like, no. Eventually, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. If it works, it works. You know what I'm saying? But some of us women, like, we've been through it, where the man, he take over after you done held down, you know what I'm saying? And he show you another side of him that you ain't never seen before.
Big
Just
facts.
keep your eyes open, keep your mind open, and just be prepared to shoot. You're gonna have to eventually take your life back. They're not gonna like that. And that's really what it is. Like, gaining your independence is taking your life back.
It is, because you're gonna have some power. You're gonna be able to go and have some say so. So after you had that conversation, I hope you already been doing it, but get yourself a job, apply for some application. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why. I guess something triggering my allergies, my nose itch. Um, get that job, start that business, whatever it is that you're trying to do. you got to start getting that done, making that money. I advise if you don't have a job already and you don't have that bread just sitting around to start a business, then maybe you might just want to go ahead and get a part time or something to, help you out with that. And another thing, Sparkle, that we were gonna touch on was if your man, your husband, your boyfriend, whatever it is, if they're giving you hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time, and they're just giving it to you, and make sure you save some of it. I see a lot of women come out of a relationship where the man was really wealthy and they was able to have they had access to pretty much everything and they was getting money,
Yeah.
but they didn't save any of that money. So
No.
now you're like, I'm dead broke and this, that, and the third. And it's like, I mean, you kind of you had more means than anybody else to say because you got somebody just giving you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars at a time. So I
Right.
think some of us need to start thinking like that.
Save, invest, do things that's gonna help you in the long run. That way, they can't say you're taking it from me. You gave this to me. I just did the right things with it. I didn't just go buy me. You might see me in these cute clothes and dresses and stuff, but I did put some money over here too. I did this too,
Hmm.
and it's some money sitting right there. Okay, you got to be able to say that because that's another way to gain your independence.
It is. It definitely is. I like that you use the word invest because you can secretly invest, or you can just say, "Hey, babe, maybe we should start investing," and start investing in things together and separately, and then you might just have yourself a bag. So when he want to do you like old girl husband did what it is? Why did I get married? Remember how Charles
Right.
did that? When he want to do you like that, then you got to back up. You ain't just out there in the box truck with the next man, okay? You got some
That
coin.
part.
That's what this
Yeah.
is all about. Making sure that you're okay at the end of the day. So get that job, get that self employment. Now, when the money start rolling in, you need to establish separate accounts if you're trying to
Yeah.
be independent in your relationship. And I don't want to hear nobody saying, "Oh, what you got a man for?" and you being independent. You can still handle business and have a man that handles business with you. It's
Yes.
called 50-50, or it's called I pay this, you pay that, everything all right. Or even some women
We
can
meet
just
in the
get a
middle.
job because they bored, okay? And they can
Yeah.
save that money. This is just all about helping you if things don't work out because unfortunately a lot of us get in relationships where things don't work out, and we don't let this man make or woman, whoever you choose to be with,
Yeah.
make all these decisions for us because we gave up our financial independence. You don't
Right.
have you really some most women don't have no say so when they're not making money, and that's
That's
just the
very true.
truth. Some people
That's
feel
very
like
true.
if you're not making the money, to hell with you. Right, out
And
Sparkle.
even if it don't happen in the beginning, it's most certainly gonna come out. I paid that bill. I did it. What? And if you don't have a leg to stand on, you ain't inputting nothing in there. Eventually, that crap could turn on you. It's good to be able to do for yourself as well. Meeting in the middle, there is nothing wrong with having this account, that account, joint account,
Nothing
maybe.
at all.
Period. Like
Nothing.
nothing at all. Like that could
Just
be an
do it.
understanding. It'll have to be a conversation again, but an understanding has to be had.
Hmm.
Period. You can't say I'm not inputting. He can't say are y'all meeting in the middle or y'all done made a decision on who gonna do what.
And that's the best thing to do. You're supposed to be partners and, work through things. And then that way, if your partner was to be disabled or something were to happen, maybe you don't have to dip right into your savings right away because you are working too or you have some income
Yeah.
or some self employment. That does help when you guys are able to do things like that. So,
Yeah.
everybody's a work in progress. And this is, just to maybe give you a little speed bump and, help you out to start the process. But separate accounts is important and saving that money if you have it lucratively to save. And when you get that job, make sure you try to put your own savings away. Some people talk to their spouses about it. Some people don't. I recommend telling your spouse you got a savings account. Some of people
Yeah.
get extra mad when their
Yeah.
spouse when they find out,
Oh,
oh,
you got
you had
money
a whole
somewhere else?
separate account. What was this when we were struggling? Like what?
Right. You over
What?
here with this extra
And
money,
you
but you ain't.
So you know what I'm saying. Handle that how you need to. Do you, boo boo? Okay, but I
Have
recommend
a
talking to your
conversation.
spouse. You know
It's better.
exactly,
It's better.
exactly. And remember, this is part one of a part two conversation. And when you do start making that money, you can then, again, like we were saying, you're gonna have some say so. Hopefully, you don't have a spouse that's not gonna let you have say so even when you are bringing in money, because that's even worse. Because now
Yeah.
you really like this is just the worst. Because I'm working too now, and I bring in money. I'm out here blood, sweat, and tears, whatever it is, at my job too, no matter what it is. And remember, everybody's job is important, but that's another conversation for
For real.
another topic. Because baby, anyway, um, spending
Hmm.
choices. You'll be able to put more of your input on spending choices. And you know, of course, people spend money without their spouse all the time. But when it comes to big purchases, most of the time, spouses want to be consulted on that. You don't want
Indeed.
your spouse to
Indeed.
go buy a house and you don't know about it. You be like, where did our
Right.
money go?
You done went and bought a house? You ain't said nothing.
Oh my! I was watching Judgment Tola because you know she does her videos now and on YouTube, and she was like she didn't tell her husband, but she went and bought a house down the street. She tried to buy a house down the street. She said it was gonna be her she shack, girl. She ain't said she did not tell her husband because I like Judge Lintola because she loves to show us how she was an imperfect wife too. You know,
Hmm.
nobody's perfect. Nobody has it all together. Judge Lintola, she
No.
cool. She fine. She look like she got everything together. She's a freaking judge. Like come to foot, but she
Hey.
she still breaks down and let us know, hey, I'm a woman and I make
Right.
mistakes too. I'm human. Okay, we
Hmm.
all are. So don't be so hard on each other. And we'll bring this conversation back next week for part two so that we can finish up gaining your independence back and give you some kind words on how that can be beneficial to your relationship. Being independent in a relationship is not a bad thing because
It's not.
it definitely is going to give you guys some benefits in your relationship, and it might just help you guys, you know, do some things that y'all ain't been doing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just
For
playing. I'm just playing.
real.
Anyway. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay next to the motherfucking black around this bit. Match the motherfucking
Hey,
black. We
bro.
got the documentary coming out, working on black femininity. It's about black femininity, y'all. Look out for that. We got the date
Big.
coming soon. Got the thumbnail popping up. Gonna have a lot of stuff going on this year, y'all. Told y'all we doing it big. And we're gonna see
All
y'all
the
next
way.
time.
Peace out, y'all. Good night.